Hi, I'm Gareth Marlowe. A couple of months ago, just before summer, I was catching up with an old mate of mine who's the senior manager at a medium-sized company, and they just, at the start of the year, recruited a new CEO, and my friend reports straight into her. So I asked him how it was going, and he said, well, I feel like my day is about avoiding the gaze of the Eye of Sauron. I'm sorry, what? And he said, no, that's it, right? It's like the game, work is a game, and the rules of the game are whatever you do, you have to not come to the attention of the all-seeing evil eye. And that's what I do. So I do as much as possible to avoid the gaze coming in my direction. And when it does come in my direction, there's only one game in town, which is get the gaze averted as quickly as possible. So I was kind of reflecting on just how awful this is and just how counterproductive it is. Because the thing is, this kind of behaviour comes from people who are very direct, very clear, have very high standards. All of these things are good, but when they show up in the form of, this kind of steely, laser-like, I see you and you're dead kind of mode, because it changes the fundamental rules of the game for everybody else, where the game is really just about avoiding the discomfort of the gaze, all of that energy, instead of going towards really interesting, difficult problems like how are we going to beat the competition, how are we going to capture this market, and how are we going to create value for our customers, instead just gets switched over. So all of that creativity and innovation just gets focused on how do I avoid that? How do I avoid that kind of treatment? So totally counterproductive. Right, okay, so what to do about it? Well, look, if this is you can be direct without being a dick, okay? It's not necessarily that these two things need to go hand in hand, but you have to have... I suppose the challenge is that these things often come from quite a closed mindset place. Maybe somebody who's really, really smart, but they fundamentally believe that the people that they're working with are a done deal. They are as developed as they're going to be, and what you're going to get out is really only determined by how much pressure you put on that person, not whether or not you're able to support their development, are able to do more. So that's a challenge, because if you want to try to challenge the Eye of Sauron behaviour and try and get that diminished a little bit, there has to be an openness to change, and a willingness to change, and a willingness to see that there may be better behaviours. But if somebody's doing it in the first place, it's perhaps evidence that their mind's already closed to the possibility of change. I don't know. If you think that this might be you and you want to do something about it, then, as always, coaching is key, and brilliant feedback is key. But yeah, it just struck me as being absolutely dreadful, really, that this extremely capable, extremely creative person was feeling like their job at work was just to fight the internal work demons and the internal work enemy, not to do something a little bit more constructive. That's my thoughts for this afternoon. I'm Gareth. I will see you next time.